If you're trying to start a budget, you've come to the right place because today I am showing you guys what is in my budget for the month of November. I am also sharing my new sinking fund, the new price plans revealed by Netflix, and which plan I'm choosing. And finally, what I did to reduce my internet bill while participating in Erika Kullberg's November Savings Challenge. So hit the subscribe button and keep watching. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kimberly, and on this channel, we talk about ways to unlock your financial freedom by incorporating planning, productivity, and personal finance into your daily routine so that you can get smarter with money and take control of your 24 hours. So if this is the type of content that you enjoy learning about, go ahead and drop a key emoji in the comments to let me know that you are a new subby. So let's start by talking about some of the things that you may want to consider budgeting for the month of November. Of course, we have Thanksgiving. So that is the holiday that you may want to set money aside for so that you can purchase food, whatever family gatherings you may have. If you're traveling during Thanksgiving week, you may want to set aside money for travel, gas, so forth. So that's definitely an option. Then we have Black Friday. So this, of course, is a huge event. This is typically a time where you guys do a lot of shopping. Just know that if you're going to do shopping, go ahead and make sure you have some type of sinking fund. Put it in your budget. You want to just make sure you have the funds to cover what you are shopping for. You don't want to have to convert back to using credit cards or, going into debt for Black Friday, right? You also may want to consider budgeting for any weddings that you are attending, or maybe you're in a wedding. Then, of course, you have anniversaries, birthdays for the month of November, gifts, and travel, just general travel. So these are some things you may want to consider when you are creating your budget. Hey guys, welcome back to another Budget with Me video. I am using the Budget Mom's Budget by Paycheck workbook. This is her digital download. I will link it below for those that are interested. And let's jump into this budget for the month of November. So I'm going to zoom you guys in. And my income here is at the top. Now, this is my full-time income. This is the only thing that I put on the budget tracker for the month. Any other income that I have, I kind of budget it differently. Maybe I will do another video about that. But $4,776.38. That is my income for my full-time job. Now, remember, I like to have a cushion of $1,000. So you're going to always see my cushion on the budget. But I do not calculate my cushion when I'm doing my budget. This is just something that I want to hold or stay in my account. And by the way, I'm really thinking about doing a video on getting a month ahead. I had an idea of how I want to get 1 month ahead on my bills. And so that may be like a little challenge that I do coming up soon. So you guys check out my community tab and keep watching my videos for that, because I think I'm going to do it. So my total income is there at the bottom. And let's see what we can do here. There we go. So there's my total income. And this paycheck is for October the 31st. So I get paid the last working day of the month. And I typically get paid 1 or 2 days early with Varo, which is my main check account that I use. But this is my October check for the month of November. So the first bill we have here is my tithes, and we're going to do $470. I don't think I've ever told you guys, but what I do with the tithes is I move that money into a totally different checking account, and I, use it for various things, whether it's helping someone, whether I'm in the drive-through and I'm paying for the order behind me. Things like that I use tithes for, as well as, church. But I just kind of wanted to share that. All right, so my rent is $9.95. I'm hoping my rent doesn't go up again in February. We will see. I will let you guys know. Spotify is $15.99. Now this is for like a family plan. So I originally got this for my son for Christmas last year. And I decided to keep it. I thought about canceling, but I decided to keep it because I really need some type of music like this in my life. So I'm going to keep Spotify. Uma is my landline. It is $6.59. Netflix, you guys, I put a star by this because I want to talk to you. Y'all have to excuse me because I'm having some issues with my voice today, but I wanted to talk to you about Netflix. In case you didn't know, Netflix just came out in November with some new payment plans or new plans, and I think I'm going to decrease to the $9.99 plan, and I'm going to put a screenshot here on the screen to show you the plans that they have. Maybe you guys want to consider changing your plan to lower your expenses. I don't know, but I just kind of wanted to mention that. But right now I have the $15.49 plan, but next month I think I'm dropping down to $9.99. So that may change next month on the budget. Next we have Progressive. This is my car insurance. So I'm paying 6 months, every 6 months now. So what I do is I set aside $100 and I move that to the sinking fund. And then that way when my bill is due every 6 months, I have the money already ready to pay for that. Vivid is my alarm system, $36.47. And actually, when I do my budget closeout, I will tell you guys the actual amount because Vivid went up by like 60 cents this month. So I'll show you guys the actual amount when I do my closeout at the end of the month. Uverse is my internet. I put a star by this one because you guys, I'm so excited to tell y'all this. So if you don't follow Erika Kullberg, hopefully I'm saying that correctly, and I'll put a screenshot on the screen, but if you don't follow her, go ahead and follow her. She's having a challenge for the month of November, and I've been in her challenge this month. And one of her challenges for today actually was to make a phone call to one of your bills and to try to get it lowered. So what I did was I called AT&T and I just asked to speak to the loyalty department, and I told them I was just trying to see how I can reduce my bill. And anyway, long story short, they ended up taking it from $63 to $55. So you're going to see that change on my December budget. And I'm excited about that, y'all. I'm super excited about it. So that was the challenge that she gave us. So every day there's different challenges, and I really love the idea of what she did. You guys, y'all got to check her out. But that was the challenge for the day, and I only stayed on the phone with them for maybe 7 or 8 minutes, and I got my bill reduced by $8, which is something, right? So anyway, that was my experience with Erika's challenge and Uverse. I'm going to scroll on up here. Okay, so next up we have my son's cell phone. He's with Straight Talk. Actually, the cell phone bill was a little bit lower this month, and again, I'll show you guys that on my closeout, but $46.16 for the cell phone. Next, we have the water bill. So these are my we have fixed expenses, which is the ones I just talked about, but now I'm into my variable expenses. So my water bill, I budget, and I'm going to change the color on this. I budget $60. It can be higher, it can be lower, but that is what I budget. I get gas twice a month on the 1st and the 15th, and I budget $50 for gas. Now, last month, in the month of October, I had surgery, so I was home for 4 weeks, right? I actually just went back to work this week. So, and today's November 15th, by the way. I think it's the 15th. No, today's November the 16th. So I just went back to work this week, and so I didn't use as much gas. But I just wanted to let you guys know that that's what I'm budgeting for. Gas, $50. Okay, moving on. Groceries, I do the same thing. I get groceries on the 1st and the 15th, and I budget $100. Sometimes I go over a little bit, but it's okay because I told you guys how I like to do it. When I go over, things typically work out because maybe the electricity wasn't as much or the water wasn't as much or something. And if I go over, I just replenish my cushion at the end of the month. So that's how I do that. Once I got my raise last month, I did increase my manicure and pedicure. So I'm budgeting $100 for that. And I may not use the $100 every month, and it kind of works out with everything else. So I'm going to keep it as $100 right now. And then I have my electricity that I budget $150.73. You guys can see the total and the leftover here at the bottom. Moving on down, I have my cash envelopes. Now remember, I don't do physical cash envelopes like the budget mom and some of her followers. I really don't like to have a lot of cash around. Actually, I do have $40 in cash for my son's haircuts. So he goes twice a month, $20 a piece. And so I do pull that out and I keep that on me each month. So that's $40 for cash envelopes. All of my other sinking funds are digital. And I've mentioned that before in my videos using SoFi vaults and also using Capital One 360. Let's move over to sinking funds. Okay, so I group my savings and sinking funds all together, and I'll break them down when I move over to my tracker that I'm going to show you guys in a minute. But $1,050 is what I'm saving. Okay, and if I move on down here into debt, we have student loan, which is with Mohila now. It was with Fed Loan, now we're with Mohila. We're not paying anything for student loans right now, so it's at zero through December the 31st. I'm not sure what's going to happen when December comes. We'll see. Now, I did go back into a little debt with my car. If you guys haven't watched my video on building my Kia Telluride, I will put it in the description below. I'm back in debt, but I'm not in debt for long because I did put down a large down payment on my car, and I have a plan to pay it off in 1 year. So I got it in June 2022. I have a plan to pay it off actually a little bit over a year. August 2022 is my plan. So hopefully that works out, but my payment is $551.95. All right, so let's move on down. Lastly, we have investments. So I do have some investment accounts, and I'll show you guys a breakdown of those here in a minute. But $775 total is what I put into my investment accounts. So this all equals out to be a zero-based budget, which is what I'm looking for. I hope you guys can't hear my son playing his instruments in the background. I'm really hoping that you don't hear that when I'm done with this video. But that is the Budget Mom's Paycheck Bill Tracker. This is me on my iPad. I'm using an app, and I can't think of the name of the app right now. GoodNotes, that's what it is. So I'm using GoodNotes right now, and this is what I do when I'm planning out my budget. And then I go over to my personal Edupreneur Diaries tracker, and I type everything up on that. So that's what we're going to look at right now. Okay, here is my tracker, and I am in the works of updating this so that it looks completely different. I may even try to start using Canva instead of PowerPoint, which is what I'm using right now. I don't know, we'll see. Or I may do both. We'll see. I'll let you guys know. I'll keep you updated. But I'm going to zoom you in real quick. And this is the same information as before, but I want to show you the breakdown of savings and sinking funds. That's one of the main things that I want to show you when I'm showing you this part. So the income section is the same. I'm going to scroll down to my fixed expenses. We've already talked about these. One thing that I want to mention though, when I was talking about Erika's savings challenge, and I was telling you guys about how I saved on my Uverse or my internet, and I've dropped it down to $55. I forgot to mention that within the challenge, she has a Discord channel, and it's very, very helpful because there are like a lot of people. I forgot how many, but I'll put the screenshot back on the screen for you guys so you can see how many people she has in Discord. And so we're all sharing our experiences and ideas, and I really, really, really like this challenge. So hopefully she does something like this again, or I may even decide to do some type of challenge similar to this because I like it so much. So I just wanted to mention that to you. I'm going to scroll on down. Now, section 2 are the variable expenses. Again, we've talked about this already when I was going over my budget using the Budget Moms tracker. So I'm going to move on. I'm going to go back up here to the top so that you can see my debt. I don't plan on having this car debt for too long. You know, I thought long and hard about going back into debt as far as a car payment. But since I had a plan to pay it off within a year, I said, okay, I'm going to do it because I needed another car because my son was getting ready to drive. So, and I'll update you guys on December or in December about whether or not we are going to have to start back paying these student loans. I'll let you know about that. All right, moving on down. We've already talked about cash envelopes. So here are my sinking funds and my savings right here. So again, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, you can see where my savings accounts are. So all of my sinking funds, for the most part, not all of them, but a lot of them are in SoFi vaults. So the account is SoFi. I have my sinking funds and I budget $150 each month for sinking funds. And what I do is I just go in and distribute money to those different sinking funds. It may only be $10 for the month. It just all depends. It's different every single month depending on where I really need to put that money. Then we have my Varo bank account. This is my primary online bank account. This is where my my full-time job check goes. And I just started back putting money into savings into Varo. Originally, I was saving for my car, and this is where I was saving my money. Now I'm going to save for another vehicle for my son for graduation, and that's 2 years down the road, but that's what I'm doing. All right, Wealthfront. This is where I'm saving money for his college. Now, this is not a 529 plan or anything like that. This is just me saving in general for college. All right, Ally bank account or Ally buckets is another place where I save money, and this is for a graduation trip in 2025. And both of these last two items were $50, you guys. I forgot to mention that. And then Varo is $100. Moving on down, Discover. Now, Discover is not only just a credit card. There's also a checking and savings account. So I have both of those, and this is where I'm saving for furniture. So when I buy a home, I have money for furniture. Right now, I'm only putting $50 in here each month. But if I ever come into like a lump sum of money for whatever reason, like maybe another child tax credit or something like that, then I may decide to add more money to this particular fund. Next, we have Capital One. So I have Capital One 360. I absolutely love it. It's another place where I have a couple of sinking funds, but the main one here is my new home. I'm trying to save $20,000 to go towards closing costs and down payments for a new home or whatever I need it for. Right now, I'm putting $500 a month into this account, and I can't believe how far I've come, you all. I'm talking about going from $30,000 in credit card debt to now having sinking funds and saving for a home, and just not having to worry so much about how I'm going to pay for something. It's a whole different type of feeling. But anyway, $500 is what I'm doing there. Then we have Navy Federal. Navy Federal is another place where I save money. This one I'm saving for the actual moving day. So maybe I need to hire some people to help me move or something like that. I'm putting $50 into this account each month. And lastly, under the savings and sinking fund section, I have another Capital One account. This is where I'm saving for retirement. I'm on year 20 of teaching, and I do realize that I took out money when I moved from Mississippi to Georgia, so I'm trying to save to replace that. I do want to retire on time in about 10 more years, or maybe 9 more years even. So I am just trying to be proactive and start saving so that I can do what I need to do and retire on time. The next section is investing. So I have a couple different investment accounts. Most of these are set up for auto pay, so $25 automatically goes to TD Ameritrade and Vanguard, and then I'll go in and purchase stocks occasionally, just depending on. In these accounts here, I don't do them every month. I do purchase stocks and index funds in some of my other accounts that I'll mention in just a second. M1 Finance, I transfer $25 to that one. And then I have a couple Fidelity accounts, so a regular brokerage account or individual brokerage account and a Roth IRA. These are also on auto. The Roth, I put $500 a month because I do want to meet my $6,000 goal each year. And then the regular brokerage is $50 a month. I do go in and purchase stocks in these two every single month. Same thing with my HSA health savings account. I do go in and purchase stocks every single month for this one as well. This one's also on auto pay for $50. Then my son has two accounts. I use Charles Schwab, and both of those get $50. Now my son, I hired him to work for me in my quote unquote small business that I'm getting up and running. So then he gets a little payment for that. So then I pay him, and then we can move that over to one of those investment accounts. Okay, so moving along, let's go back up here. I mentioned this section last month, section 6. I've changed this a couple different times. Right now it's just the no spend section. I thought maybe I would keep track of what I'm spending, primarily on fast food. That's kind of my weakness. So maybe I'll try to do a no spend, week by week. I don't know. So that's why that's there. I just haven't taken it off because I want to try some different things with that. So this is my budget for the month of November. Hopefully this helps you all. Those of you who are watching who are trying to start a budget, it's never too late. Go ahead and get you a pen, get you some paper, start writing. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just get started, but you absolutely have to have a budget. I think this is kind of the foundation to financial freedom, honestly, along with sinking funds. Those are like my top 2 things that I would tell anybody to make sure that you have. So try to start getting out of debt, which means create that budget. Start trying to find places where you can cut expenses so that you can have money to put towards your debt, extra money to put towards your debt. And then once you do that, you can start thinking about these sinking funds or emergency funds and things like that. Okay. All right. So if you found this content helpful, go ahead and make sure that you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so that you are notified every single time Edupreneur Diaries posts a new video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next month.